Um, well, originally I was brought up in an island called Kiribati,
Okay.
which is in the South Pacific, and it's right on the equator. It's a little atoll um, that used to be a British colony, and is now independent, and is also suffering from climate changes.
I see. So, what was life like down there?
In Kiribati, it was simple.
Elaborate on me. How is that? How simple is that comparing to the life you're living right now in Hull?
Oh, it was. It's like paradise, Kiribati. There's sun, there's coconut trees. It's a small island. You wake up in the morning, you go get a coconut if it's fallen off the tree. If not, you go climb the tree and get chopped down. Get chopped one down, young and fresh coconuts, I tell you. And you go, and the men go fishing, and you just live a simple life. There's good community. There's no pressure of credit cards or getting a job or this, that, or the other. Do you know? It's just you live off nature because nature provides. So everything's there for you. All your basic needs. You don't have a television there, and you didn't have mobile phones.
So, how was it? Was it a cultural shock then when you came into Hull? What year did you come to Hull, if you don't mind?
I didn't. When I came to England, it was a big cultural shock, and it was very, very, very cold. Very cold. I remember having to have loads of blankets. I couldn't believe how cold it was compared to what I was used to.
How about the people, the culture in itself? Do people do things differently here compared to Kiribati?
Yeah, but it's very different because the climate's different, so you have to wear lots of clothes, to keep warm, and it's a much more, I don't know if you could say structured, but there's like much more people. There's more people. You go to, like, it's not, it was much freer and easier, say, in Kiribati as a kid. There wasn't so many rules and regulations. I used to drive my dad's motorbike around the island because the island is like, I don't know, 10 miles right round.
Yeah.
But nobody said there wasn't any police. There's no, not loads of police around to police everything. So, like, there wasn't enough people for that. Do you know?
So how's
It's changed a lot since then, though.
Okay. All right.
And since the French have dumped all the nuclear waste in the sea and things like that, there's a lot more. There's a lot more kind of like radiation problems and things like that, I think. And there's a bigger population now.
Yeah. Well, clearly, from what you're saying to me, it's clear that you come from a different culture. In a sense that comparing to the lifestyle you're living right now in Hull, like the whole process of the project is to try to bridge gaps and to be able to talk about our mixed heritages. So in terms of like community living, comparing to the community living Kiribati to the community living right now in Hull, do you see any major differences within the people you're living around and the community itself?
Well, yeah, because in Kiribati, you would take care of your, everybody would look out for each other. Yes, it's a small community. There's difficulties in that because everybody knows your business. But on the other hand, you all look out for each other in a different way to here. I don't know how to put that into words though, or describe it. But like, for example, every day they had mani arbors. They had mani arbors made out of palm leaves, for the roof and stuff. And everybody would meet there every day, from morning till night. And then you would have your little place. Some people would just sleep there too. Meals would be cooked so you could go and eat there. The men would play the drums, and then the women might dance depending on the day. And make up dances and stories, and like each dance had a story to it.
Wow.
With words as well. So somebody would like sing the words, and the elders would play the drums.
Okay, so maybe being more specific, I would say, what are the challenges, I would say, and similarities that you have faced from coming from a different heritage to living in Hull? Let's start with with the with the challenges. What would you say be more challenging for you coming from a different heritage, living in Hull?
I think you have to get you have to adapt to the culture that you're living in, because you can't go to Rome and be a German. You've got to go to Rome and do what the Romans do. That's what they say. So I would say you have to look around and adapt to the culture that you're in. So the things that you might be used to, you don't kind of do anymore. But you change it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I think I don't know if I was always a bit of a learner, but I don't know what to say about that. The challenges of living in Hull and in this community is that you can't trust anybody. Too tough. It's a harder dog eat dog world, and it's full of officialdom and complications and red tape, and it's not, you don't go out and pick your dinner, you have to go and earn your dinner in a different way.
Right.
And you've got loads of bills to pay and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas in that culture, the way it was simple. It was much simpler. Right. Much easier. Strangely though, when it was a colony, they had an export for the people. So like the young men would go to the Marine Training School and train to work in different departments on West German commercial cruise ships. And this was seen as a great status symbol. If they got into the Marine Training School, it'd be like getting into Oxford or Cambridge, something like that. Then they were seen as like quite high up in the status, and they would travel, and then they would come home and they would wear the big woolen suits that they got when they were in Europe or wherever, because that would keep them warm in Europe, but when they wore them in Kiribati they would be sweating the bollocks off.